Good morning, students. Welcome to my lecture. Today I am going to discuss about linked list, introduction to the linked list, and how these linked lists are represented in the memory. Let us see it. Unit 2. See here. Already we have discussed in Unit 1, right? What is meant by linked list? See here, definition of linked list. It is a linear data structure. Can anyone answer my question? What is meant by linear data structure? Already in Unit 1 we have discussed it, right? Please answer my question. What is meant by linear data structure? Anyone? Students? Students, anyone please answer my question. What is meant by linear data structure? In first unit we have discussed it. No one knows it? Linear data structure. Roll number 6. Roll number 6.
Madam, when the data is arranged in a continuous memory location,
What is meant by... Huh?
when the data is arranged in a continuous,
See, it is not audible.
when the data is arranged,
It's not audible.
madam, is now audible.
It's not
I
audible.
will keep in short now.
Speak loudly. Speak
When
loudly.
the data is arranged in a continuous memory locations, we call it as a linear data.
Very good. Yes, very good. See here, linear data structure. Linear data structure, here the elements are arranged in some linear fashion, okay, sequential order. Here linked list, it is a linear data structure which is a collection of nodes. See the diagram, see the picture, you will understand. 1 second. See here. See, this is a node, okay. This is a node and this is a second node and this is third node and this is fourth node, okay. See here, it is a collection of nodes. Linked list is a collection of nodes. See here, each nodes contain two fields. See here. See, this is a node, right? This is a node. Everything. This is a node and this is a node and this is a node and this is a node. So linked list is nothing but it is a collection of nodes. It is a linear data structure where elements are arranged in linear fashion. These are nodes. Now see here, each node contains two fields. Two fields. First field is for data field. First field is data field which contains element. Okay, see here. See here, this is a node, right? What is the first field? Data field, which contains element or values. See, 3. Data field, first field is data field which contains only elements or values. See the first node contains two fields, right? First one is a data field. It contains 3. Next, see the second node. See the first field. First field is a data field which contains element. What is the element present here? Element 10. Next, see the third node. Okay, see the third node. Each node contains two fields. First field is data field. See here. Data field which contains only elements. Either it may be integer, float, whatever it may be. Okay, elements, values. Next, see the fourth field. See the fourth field. What is the first field? First field is the data field which contains only elements. Either it may be integer, float, double, whatever it may be. It contains only elements, values. Now, next field. See here. What is the next field? Next field is second field. See here. First field is data field. What is the second field? Next field. Second field is name of the second field is next. Name of the first field is data which contains element. Name of the second field is next. Okay. Next is a pointer. Next is a pointer. Already you have learned in previous semester, right, about pointers. Anyone explain me the concept of pointers? See here, first field is data, second field is next. Next is a pointer. Please answer my question. Already you have learned about pointers in your previous semester in C language. Okay. Just explain me what is meant by pointer. Anyone? Students? Please
Ma'am,
respond to me.
pointer means which is used to store the base address, ma'am. And
Base address. Okay. How will you declare a pointer?
by using a star T.
Yes, very good. Roll number 40, very good. Just wait, I will explain the pointers concept again. See here. Just 1 second. See, how will you declare a normal variable? By using data type. Here I am declaring like int. Int A. Okay, int A. Here A is a variable. Again I am assigning a value 10. Okay. So in this way you will declare a normal variable. Data type. What is the data type here I have specified? Integer. Next A. A is a variable name. Next I have assigned some value. You know that every variable will hold some value, right? Only one value. A equal to 10. Can anyone answer my question? What is meant by variable? See, I am explaining the pointers concept. First answer my question. What is a variable? Anyone? Students?
Variable means, ma'am, it is used to store some content, ma'am, and it is ready to change anytime, ma'am. Vary. That meaning.
Okay, only 40 is responding. Remaining members, 40 students are there. You need to respond. See here. See, definition of a variable. Variable is nothing but it is a name of a memory location. See, this is a memory location, right? It is a name of a memory location which contains some value. Which contains some value. Here A is a variable. Definition of variable is it is a name of a memory location. You know that all the data will be stored in memory, right? Here I took variable A. It is a name of a memory location which contains a value. Which value it contains? Here I have assigned value 10. It contains value 10. Now see here, I am declaring a pointer. What is a pointer variable? It is a special variable which contains address of another variable. Okay, pointer variable. See, pointer. It is a variable which contains address of another variable. Okay, see here. This is a memory location. Each memory location will contain some address, right? For assume 1002. Okay, just assume address of this memory location A is 1002. The name of this memory location is A, which contains value 10. Now let us declare the pointer variable. How to declare the pointer variable? Data type. Here I am taking int. Int data type. Next space, give space. Next star symbol. Star symbol pointer variable P. Okay, I am using pointer variable P. Here, see if there is a star symbol before any variable. Okay, if there is a star symbol before any variable, then it is taken as a pointer. Here, P is a pointer which contains only address, not values. Okay, normal variable contains values. See here, A is a normal variable which contains value. Here, A variable A is name of the memory location. See, definition of variable you need to say in this way. A variable is a name of a memory location which will hold some value. Okay, this is the definition of variable. In this way you need to answer. Next, see here. As I said, here pointer variable which contains only address. That means now what you have to do after declaring, you need to assign some address. Which address you need to assign? You need to assign address of another variable. Here, what is that another variable? A. Okay, A is integer. Okay, that's why here I have declared pointer as an integer. If you are declaring int pointer, that means it should contain address of integer variable only, another integer variable. What is the another integer variable here? A. So see here, now I am assigning address p equal to, to assign the address you need to use ampersand operator. See here, which represents address. Know that pointer variable must contain address only, right? That means you should assign the address of another variable ampersand. Okay, reference operator which is used for which represents the address ampersand a. Now see here, p is a name of a memory location. P is a variable, right? As I said, variable is nothing but it is a name of a memory location which contains some value. But here what you have assigned, see here, what you have assigned to variable p, address of a ampersand a. That means address. What is the address of a? 1002. 1002. Okay, 1002. 1002 is the address which is assigned to p. Okay, I hope you understood. See, that means this p is pointing to this variable. See, p is a pointer variable which contains address of variable a. That's nothing but 1002. That means p is pointing to variable a. Okay, excuse me, 1 second, 1 minute. Sorry for the disturbance. See here, I hope you understood. See, p is a pointer which contains address. Here p contains 1002 because you have assigned address. Okay, address of a. That means it is pointing to variable a. Is it clear, students? Is it clear, students? Please respond. Is pointer concept is clear or shall I explain again? Students, you need to respond. All the students, please respond. Is it clear or shall I explain it again? Without this concept, you cannot understand the linked list which contains pointers. See, pointer means which points to another variable. That means it contains address. Only 36 and 40 are there in the class. Remaining members, what you are doing? Are you sleeping or what? Please respond. Shall I move to the next topic? Students. Okay. Please respond. Okay. I'm moving. Okay. Now see here. See, linked list is a collection of nodes. Each node contains two fields. First field is data field which contains value. Okay, next field is pointer which contains address of next node. Okay, remember that. See here, star next. Here, if there is a star symbol before any variable, then it is considered as pointer variable. Here, next is a pointer variable. Here in this field, this contains address of, 1 second. See, for example, this is 1000. This is some 1004, some 1006, something. Just assume address. Just assume. Okay. Now, see here, this next field is pointing to next node. That means this next is a pointer which contains address of next node. I hope you understood. Which contains address of next node. That means it is pointing to next node. See here, in last node, it is not pointing to any node, right? See here, last node. See this one. Last node. This node. Last node. See here, last node is not pointing to any node. So null. Okay, null means nothing. So this is the end of the list. See, if there is a null in the next field, that means there is no another node. So null means nothing. So this is the end of the list. I hope you understood. See, next is a field which contains address of next node. That means it is pointing to next node. Students, is my voice is clear? It is audible? Students, is it audible? Okay. As some other class is going on here, ma'am is taking some other class. So is there any overlap of the voices? Is my classes clear or some other voice is overlapping? Please respond, students. As some other class is going on here, ma'am is explaining. No overlap, right? Okay. Okay. I hope you understood. Next, see here. This is the linked list. Next type of a linked list. Let us see different types of linked list. See here, different types of linked list. There are three types of linked list. First one is single linked list. Three types of linked list are there. Listen carefully. First one is single linked list. Single linked list is a collection of, it is a linear data structure. It is a linear data structure which is a collection of nodes. See here, I am writing the definition of single linked list. It is a linear data structure. Already I have explained what is meant by linear data structure, right? Where elements are arranged in some linear fashion. Single linked list, it is a linear data structure which is a collection of nodes. Which is a collection of nodes. Each node contains two fields. In single linked list, each node contains two fields. Okay. First field is data field. First field is a data field which contains only element. Values only it contains. That means what? It may be integer value, it may be float value, it may be double value. Okay. Next, second field is next, which is a pointer which contains address of next node. Okay, see here. First field is a data field. Next field is a pointer which contains address of next node. Okay. Last node. See here, last node. There is no another node, right? So here you need to insert null. Okay. Null means nothing. That means it is not pointing to any node. Okay, which represents it is a last node. I hope you understood. Once again, see the definition of linked list. It is a linear data structure which is a collection of nodes. All these are nodes only, which contains two fields. First field is data field. Second field is next. It is a pointer. Remember that next field is a pointer which contains address of next node. Okay, now see here. See the head. Here head is a pointer. Okay, which contains address of first node. That means it is pointing to first node. Remember that always head points to first node only. Head is a pointer which contains address of first node. Remember that always head points to first node only. That means, see, it is pointing means it is a pointer which contains address of first node. Okay, I hope you understood. Single linked list, once again see the PPT, see the diagram, you will understand. It is a collection of nodes. Each node contains two fields only. First field is value, data. First field name is data, which contains value. Next field name is next only, which is a pointer, which contains address of next node. That means it points to next node. See here, it points to next node. It contains address means it is pointing to next node. Okay, this is first type of linked list. Second one, see the second type of linked list. See the second type of linked list, doubly linked list. See the definition. I'll write the definition. See here. See, definition of doubly linked list. It is a linear data structure. It is a linear data structure. Already you know what is meant by linear data structure, right? Where elements are arranged in some linear fashion. It is a linear data structure, which is a collection of nodes. All these are nodes, right? See here, all these are nodes only, which is a collection of nodes. This is the definition, which is a collection of nodes. Here in doubly linked list, each node contains 3 fields. Okay, see here. Each field contains, each node contains, see this is a node. See here, this is a node. And this is a second node. And this is a third node. Okay, it is a collection of nodes. And each node contains 3 fields. First field is a prev. First field is a prev, which is a pointer. Which is a pointer. That means this prev field points to the previous node. Okay, prev field points to the previous node. That means this prev field contains address of previous node. Next field is data field. Next field is data field. See here, next field is data field. Name of the field is data, which contains elements, nothing but values. Either it may be integer, float, double. Okay. Next, see the next field name. Next field name is next only. It is a pointer. Here prev is a pointer and next is a pointer. Here next field contains address of next node. It is a pointer, right? Already I have explained the pointers concept, which contains address only. You need to assign address. That means it is pointing to the next node. See here, it is pointing to the next node. And see the first node in previous, there is no previous field, right? This is only first node. So you need to insert null. Null means nothing. That means there is no previous node. Next, come to the second node. See here, second node. Come to the second node. See, it contains 3 fields. First field is a pointer, previous field, which contains address of previous node. See here, it is pointing to previous node, right? That means it contains address of previous node. Next, what is the next field? The data field, which contains some value. What is the next field? Next, it is a pointer. Here, previous is a pointer and next is a pointer, which contains address of next node. That means it is pointing to next node. Okay. Next, see here. See the third node. What is the first field? In doubly linked list, it contains, each node contains 3 fields only. First field is prev, which is a pointer. Next field is data, which is a value. Next field name is next only, which is a pointer. See here, this previous pointing to next node, previous node. That means it contains previous node address. See here. See the next field here. It is having null. That means there is no next node. If there is no next node, you need to write null. You need to insert null or you need to assign null. That means nothing. Null means nothing. Okay. See here. When there is a null in the next field, it means it is a last node. Okay. I hope you understood. If there is a null in next field means it is a last node. See, this is a last node, right? And see here, I said that head always points to the first node only. Here, head is a pointer which contains address of first node. First node only. Remember that always head points to first node only. That means head is a pointer which contains address of first node only. Is it clear, students? Please respond. I request all the students to respond. Only 3 or 4 members are responding always. Remaining members are not responding. Please respond right now. Is it clear, students, or shall I explain again? Okay, only 2 members responded. 3 members. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, students. Okay, let us see next type of linked list. Up to now, we have seen first type of linked list and second type of linked list. See, here what is the advantage of doubly linked list? Let us see that. Advantage of doubly linked list. See here, you can traversing. See here, traverse. Traverse means accessing each and every value. Accessing each and every value is called traversing. See here, in doubly linked list, there are 2 links, right? Forward link. See here, next field, forward link and backward link. So, if any link is broken, for example, forward link is broken. If forward is link is broken, you can traverse by using what is this? Forward link, backward link. Okay. See here, if any link is broken, for example, assume that forward link is broken. If forward link is broken, you can access using backward link. See, this is a forward link, right? If this link is broken, you can traverse using backward link. This is the advantage of the doubly linked list over single linked list. In single linked list, there is only one link, right? See, forward link only, there is only forward link. If this link is broken, you cannot access the element. You cannot access the element 2. You cannot access the element 1. If forward link is broken. I hope you understood. Now, let us see third type of linked list. What is the third type of linked list? Circular linked list. See the definition of circular linked list. I request all the students to note down in your running notes. I am writing the definitions also. Please note down, students. See the definition of circular linked list. It is a linear data structure. Linear data structure. Already I have discussed what is meant by linear data structure, right? Where elements linear. See, the name itself, it is saying elements are arranged in linear fashion. It is a linear data structure which is a collection of nodes. Which is a collection of nodes. Where each node contains 2 fields, just like single linked list. It contains 2 fields. See here. See here. This is a first node. This is a node 1. This is node 2. Node 2. This is node 3. Okay. What is the first field? See, data field. What is the next field? Next. Data field. Each node contains only 2 fields. Next. Data field. Next. Now, what is the data field? First field is a data field. Data field, which contains only elements. See here. See, element 1, element 2, element 3. Data field is a field name. Name of the field is a data field which contains only elements. Now see here next field. See the next field. This is next, which is a pointer. Okay, this is a pointer. That means already I have discussed what is meant by pointer, which contains address of next node. That means it is pointing to next node. It is pointing to next node. Now see here in circular linked list, last node next field will points to first node. This is the circular linked list. There is no null. There is no null. See, if there is null, that means it is a last node, right? Okay, if there is null, see here. See, here there will be null. If there is null, it represents it is a last node. It is a last node. That means here next field is not pointing to another node. There is no another node. But in circular linked list, what is happening? 1 second. What is happening means last node next field will points to first node. This is circular linked list. Circular linked list. Last node next field will points to the first node. That means it contains next field contains address of first node. This is the circular linked list. I hope you understood different types of linked list. First one is a single linked list. Second one is a doubly linked list. Doubly linked list contains 3 fields: prev, data, next. Prev is a pointer which points to the previous node. Data is a value. Next is a pointer which points to the next node. Next, see the circular linked list. The only difference between circular linked list and single linked list is that last node next field will points to the first node. This is a circular linked list. These are the different types of linked lists. See, I hope you understood. Please draw all these diagrams. See here, always remember that head is a pointer. Always remember that head is a pointer which points to first node only. Always head points to first node only. Using this head only, you will traverse. You will access each and every node. Remember that. Using this head only, you will access each and every node. Okay, let us see. Representation of linked list in memory. In memory, how will you represent the linked list? Let us see that. See, first you need to allocate a block of memory, right? See, if you want to store data in next field, if you want to create a node, first you need to allocate a block of memory for that, right? How to allocate a block of memory? See here, you will use malloc. In C language, you will use malloc function. Already in your previous semester, you have learned about malloc, right? What is malloc? Students, please respond. Students, I want every student to respond. Just 1 second. What is students? What is malloc? Already C language is completed. In your previous semester, you have studied. Who is that?
Ma'am, memory allocation, ma'am. Which allocates.
Yes, memory allocation.
Bytes form, bytes which allocates.
See, I'm not able to hear you.
Mama, malloc means which is a memory allocation, ma'am, which allocates the memory in a bytes form.
In compile time or in runtime, it will allocate memory.
At runtime, ma'am.
Yes, very good, Pranita. Very good, Pranita. Only Pranita is responding. What about the remaining members? Let us see it. 1 second, students. What is this? Just 1 second, please wait. Please wait 1 second. Okay. Let us see the malloc. See, first I will explain what is compile time allocation and what is runtime allocation. See here. See here, you are declaring a variable like int a, right? You are declaring a variable like int a. What is a? A is a variable of type int. That means a is a name of a memory location. Variable means it is a name of a memory location which contains some value. For example, I have assigned value 10, which contains some value. Now, during compile time, you will compile the program, right? During the compile time only, the memory will be allocated for this variable a. How much amount of memory will be allocated? 2 bytes of memory. Okay, integer occupies 2 bytes of memory. New compilers in if you are using new compilers, it will occupy 4 bytes of memory. Okay, integer. If you are using old compilers, integer will occupy 2 bytes of memory. If you are using new compilers, modern compilers, integer will occupy 4 bytes of memory. So here, how much amount of memory will be allocated? For example, you are using modern compilers, new compilers, 4 bytes. Okay, 4 bytes of memory will be allocated for variable a, which contains value 10. Here the memory for these variables will be allocated in compile time only, during compile time. But see here, if you want to allocate memory, if you want to allocate memory at execution time, so why you need to allocate the memory during execution time? Let us see it. See here, for example, you have declared a variable array. You have declared an integer array. So array contains how many blocks? How many locations? 10 locations. 1, 2, 3, 4, so on up to 9. For example, see here, size of the array is 10. That means it contains 10 memory, 10 locations. Okay, continuous memory locations will be allocated. Now, for example, if you are assigning only 5 values, 1, 4, 6, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values you are assigning. If you are assigning 5 values means remaining 5 locations will be wasted, right? Okay, during compile time only 10 locations will be allocated. 10 continuous memory locations will be allocated. If you are assigning only 5 values to the array, okay, I hope you understood. If there are only 5 values in the array, what about remaining locations? 5 locations will be wasted, right? So, if you are using dynamic memory allocation functions, that means you are allocating memory at execution time so that memory will not be wasted. See how much amount of memory needed, that much amount of memory only will allocate using these dynamic memory allocation methods. Here memory will be allocated at runtime during execution time. Here malloc is a dynamic memory allocation method. Dynamic memory allocation method. Allocation method in C language, which is used to allocate memory during execution time so that memory will not be wasted. How much amount of memory you need, that much amount of memory only will be allocated. Now let us see here how to allocate memory for node. See here. Here just an example. First you need to know what is the syntax. See the syntax. PTR. Here PTR is a pointer variable. Pointer variable. Already you know this pointer variable, right? PTR equal to close open bracket. Next inside cast type. This is nothing but data type. Data type. Next star symbol. Close bracket. Close the bracket. Next ML.
Hello? Nitish? Nitish, you there? Hello? Nitish, are you there? Pranita?
Yes,
Teja?
sir.
Which class now?
Yes, sir.
Data structures, sir.
Okay, data structure. What happened? Madam has left?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, madam joined, no problem.
Sir,
Continue, madam.
మేడం
Continue. చేయండి.
వచ్చారు కంటిన్యూ చేయండి మేడం
సార్ ఎప్పుడు లీవ్ అయ్యాను సార్? 10 minutes అయిందా సార్?
లేదండి 10 minutes లోపు 5
Pranita,
to
help
10
me.
మధ్యలో అండి
Yeah. Pranita, help me, madam. Okay. Tell me, madam, where the madam has left.
Students, up to where you have listened? Students, please respond up to where you have listened.
Ma'am, up to
Sorry for the disturbance. Pranita,
ma'am, representation about ma'am dynamic memory allocation.
up to dynamic memory allocation. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you listened the syntax? Syntax. I have explained the syntax example also. Have you heard it? Have you listened? Students. Okay. See here. I will explain it again. I'm sorry for the disturbance. Okay. See here. See dynamic memory allocation. See here. First, how to represent linked list in memory. You need to use malloc. Students, have you listened the difference between compile time allocation and runtime allocation? Students, please respond. I have explained the difference between compile time and runtime. Have you listened it? Students, just now I have explained it. Students, please respond. Have you heard the difference between just now I have explained? No? Okay. See here, to represent the linked list in memory, first you need to use dynamic memory allocation methods. So first I will explain what is the difference between compile time memory allocation and runtime memory allocation. See, for example, see int a of 10, you have declared an array variable. You have declared array variable int space a of 10. Here array is a, array name is a of type integer. Here 10 memory continuous memory allocation, continuous memory locations are allocated 0, 1, 2, so on up to 9. So when the memory will be allocated for this variable a, during at the compile time only memory will be allocated. Is my voice is audible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see here. You have declared an array variable. Size is 10. So continuous 10 locations are allocated. During compile time only memory will be allocated for this variable, for this array. Now see here, you are assigning only five values. You are assigning only 5 values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what about remaining memory locations? Remaining memory locations will be wasted, right? Because you have declared as a size you have given size as 10. 10 memory locations will be allocated. Now you are assigning only 5 values. What about remaining memory locations? Remaining 5 memory locations will be wasted, right? This is the disadvantage here. Compile time memory location. If you are using dynamic memory allocation methods, so how much amount of memory you need, that much amount of memory will be allocated only. Okay, here dynamic memory allocation method is malloc. You are using malloc, dynamic memory allocation method. So during at the execution time, how much amount of memory you need, that much amount of memory only will be allocated. No memory will be wasted. This is the difference between compile time and runtime allocation of memory. Here you will use dynamic memory allocation method called malloc. Let us see the syntax of malloc. See here syntax of malloc. PTR is a pointer variable. PTR is a pointer variable. Next open bracket. Next cast type. Here cast type is nothing but data type of pointer variable only. Data type of pointer variable only. Next malloc function name. What is the function name? Malloc. Next open bracket. Inside that you need to declare how much you need to give, how much amount of memory you need to allocate. Byte size, how much amount of memory you need to give, represent that. Okay, next close the bracket. This is the syntax of malloc. Now let us see with an example. See here, int star ptr is a pointer. If there is a star symbol before any variable, then it is considered as pointer. Okay, see here, int is a point, sorry, ptr is a pointer variable of type int, equal to, see the close bracket, inside that cast type. Cast type is nothing but data type of this pointer variable. What is the data type of this pointer variable? Int. So int star. See the syntax. Next, see the syntax. Malloc. Here you need to give how much amount of memory you need. Byte size. 5 into size of int. Here size of is an operator which returns amount of memory. It will calculate the amount of memory. Size of int, that means it will return the amount of memory occupied by the integer. 1 second. What is the amount of memory occupied by the integer? 4 bytes. 4 bytes, right? See, if you are using modern compilers, it will occupy 4 bytes of memory. If you are using old type of compilers, then int will occupy 2 bytes of memory. Okay. Now size of operator is used to it will return the amount of memory occupied by the integer, because here you are passing int. See here, size of int. What is the size of int? 4 byte. See, integer size is 4. Now this size of operator will return 4. So 5 into 4. So 20 bytes of memory will be allocated. I hope you understood. In next class, how to represent the linked list in memory, I will discuss in next class. Using malloc function only, you will allocate memory at runtime. Is it clear, students? Have you understood difference between compile time and runtime allocation? Is it clear, students? Please respond. Students, is it clear? Students, please respond. Is it clear? Shall I explain again? Have you understood the difference between compile time and runtime allocation? To allocate memory in runtime, you need to use dynamic memory allocation methods. Dynamic memory allocation methods are malloc, cloc. Already you have studied in your previous semester in C language. Already you have studied. Okay, you have learned about that. I hope you understood. In next class, I will discuss how to represent linked list in memory. Here you will use malloc to allocate the size, allocate the block of memory. Okay. In next class, let us see that. In today's class, I have discussed about types of linked list and how to represent linked list in memory. That I will discuss later in next class. Is it clear, students? Have you understood my class? Only few members are responding. Always Pranita, these members are only responding. What about remaining members? I request all the students to respond. Have you understood the class or not? See, these are the basics you need to understand. If you want to write the algorithm, first you need to know these basics. Okay, students, thank you so much. Okay, students, thank you. Thank you. If there are any doubts, you can respond at, you can call me at any time. I will explain. Okay, thank you so much. Sir?